Hey everybody, this is Peter Palmiotti, and this is ARTCAST, episode 6. So I don't know, this is going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to create and talk at the same time. Because I got to think about what I'm doing on both sides. It's not like I'm just doing art. I'm going to start to thumbnail out some ideas. Kind of like how I did the Griffin story, if you followed me along on that. But this is for my arena backup story, and the more I think about it, the more I'm definitely set on making it sort of a DC Comics spotlight comic. um, it goes pop pop blocking the light. What are you doing, pop pop? You want to get down? You're very inconvenient. Here, let me help you. Okay, okay. Pop pop was on the other desk and decided to stand in front of the light, and I got that out of the way. Okay. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking I was gonna do a short episode tonight, but this might roll a little long. But I hope that's okay. Um, I already had a couple of new videos up on my channel earlier. If you missed them, I had a very short one, uh, just over a minute long, and that was with my 5 cats. For anybody who wanted to see them, essentially, my 5 babies, and what they look like, really quickly, and what their names are. And yeah, I was just like I took advantage of the moment. It's super nice out today and sunny. Um, it's the total opposite now. Like the wind was picking up like crazy, and now it's raining on and off pretty heavily. Um, but yeah, I was lucky to not only have them all outside out front, um, but to have them in the same area was like some kind of synchronous miracle happening. And yeah, so I filmed that, and like I said, it's a short video, but I was very happy to successfully pull that off. And that was filmed with my Kindle. If you've seen a lot of my Instagram crappy pictures of my cats, um, that's what it looks like indoors with my bad lighting. But with amazing light, because it was sunny, it looks like a freaking professional camera. And yeah, you don't know how glad I am to have pulled that off. Uh, and the other video was another in my line of Independent Crossroads, a spin off of my old Independent Road. And did I just say Crossroads? Yeah. Um, so Independent Road was a podcast I did for just about 4 years, and I was part of the whole podcast community. And in it, part of it was me and my journey with art and comics, and a lot of my trials and tribulations, much like my YouTube channel now. But I did have a whole bunch of interviews. I would say at least 60 of them, or more, maybe more like 75. percent of them um, were me interviewing other comic creators or art creators or just creators outside of comics. I forget if I had some of that going on, but definitely comic creators, writers, artists, the like. I actually have one more episode. I'll eventually find the audio and maybe do a little editing on that, but see if I can get that up one day. Um, and so yeah, so now I got Independent Crossroads, and that was, I believe it was episode 7. I forget now, or 8 actually. And I was with my friend Russ Leach, otherwise known as Comic Book Black Belt, and that was an amazing discussion, interview, whatever you wish to call it. He's super talented, and I had no clue about most of his career. But wow, just wow, what an inspiration. So yes, please go check it out. Then go to his channel, subscribe to his channel. Let's make that sucker grow. It was wonderful to talk to him, and he actually he actually made his own thumbnail cover because I was trying to. I had the typeface that I used on the previous thumbnails um, is now a little crappy blurry, and the typeface I was using was on my old PC, which that's kind of pretty much lost, at least for the time being. Um, and I asked him, yeah, just to do if he wanted to do his own cover, and he jumped at it. So that was pretty amazing of him. And yeah, here we are, and I'm just talking away and not doing anything. But so yes, arena is going to be my ongoing sort of combination of professionals and new talent, much like DC Comics DC Comics Spotlight and Marvel Comics Presents. And I believe both of them pretty much had 3 stories. There'd be one, like Marvel back in the day had Barry Smith. That's where he introduced Weapon X with Wolverine. Um, and before or after, there was a Sam Keith Wolverine story. It did a lot of Wolverine. But way back when, I think my very first page I inked, very first 2 pages I inked for Marvel was on Marvel Comics Presents, and all I vaguely remember it was like it was an Iron Fist story because I love Iron Fist and the character in the comic. Um, Iron Fist and Power Man, that was awesome shit. And Yeah, so I inked 2 pages of one of the stories chapters. I don't think I got credit, but I do remember going up to Marvel to get my check, and it was for a decent amount. And I mean, 2 pages, so I had a decent page rate up at Marvel. Um, it was slightly more at DC, but that's how it worked out. For most people, creators, DC always paid a little more because they want to be competitive with Marvel. Um, and yeah, I there was a phone booth on the corner where the Marvel offices were, and I immediately called my best friend, and and luckily he answered, and I was jumping up and down. As I was talking to him on the phone, I was opening the envelope, and on the envelope, um, had Spider-Man, like horizontally, like doing his Spider-Man pose, like he was climbing up a wall or something. And then opened and took out the check and the voucher, and that also had Spider-Man on it. So I was very, very, very geeky, very happy, jumping up and down. And my friend on the phone was laughing, and he was at work, but he enjoyed my moment as well. Um, so yeah, I guess like in many ways, I want to capture the love that I felt in those two books. I don't remember a lot of specifics about DC Comics Presents, um, other than it was a similar formula to a degree, and there's a lot of great stuff in it, great stories and great art, and it's always it's a great way to introduce new talent to um, to the fold of the comic company. So yeah, Arena is going to be it, um, and I really look forward to it. I think we could spin off into so many ideas. The difference with mine will be that I'll it's going to be stories within the Arena universe, so specifically geared towards Arena and the characters within. And my Arena backup story is I forget. I think it's Frenchie and Red. Um, are sort of my temporary names because he's French and her hair is red. Yeah, it's brilliant. No, I'm gonna come up with real names. That's just for now. Um, and I was thinking about it and visualize it in my head earlier. As I go about the tasks of mundane house stuff of cleaning, doing dishes, making sure that cats have fresh water and food. Um, it's it's always a great way to think up ideas. And I actually thought of how I wanted to sort of start off the story. Um, and I probably should have wrote it back then. Um, but yeah, I'm avoiding working because I want to spew out a lot of information that I wanted to make sure to cover. Um, and yeah, today. Okay, so today's been a crazy day. I've been in touch, literally over 100 people, um, and really insane. Like uh, letting people know about my project and showing off the colored cover to retro, and it's amazing the response and the support. And yeah, I gotta be honest, I was crying earlier. And yeah, it's a very touching, emotional day. And I just love my friends in the biz, as well as the comic industry itself. So it's like I still got work to do on the Kickstarter page. But like I said, if you're following along, I'll get all that up. It needs Kickstarter takes a day for approval. Fingers crossed it gets approved. Then I'll basically let everybody know and go live. Whether it be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday or something, I don't care what day it is. I'm gonna go live just as soon as I can. Been, I created this hero when I was in my teens. I'm freaking 56 now. It's about time to get my first book funded and out there. So So yeah, Kickstarter will there'll be a delay. It's like I could probably get the book done sooner than what the date, what I'm going to put it at. I think I'm going to May, June, July. I think I'll probably put August. Um, don't quote me, but and there's a reason for delay. It's I can get the inks done and it colored and lettered in a reasonable amount of time. Uh, any final script adjustments, additional pages. Um, I'm gonna have if I feel like I'm repeating myself because I wrote down so many things today um, but I'm gonna have a page dedicated to other independent create, creators and their books. So I'm gonna have uh, one page with four ads. So one will be Gaz for the horror A4. One will be Scott Serquin for Young and the Dead. One will be Jeff Lafferty for the Berserker Knot, and one will be for Kevin Cross and Monkey Mod. And that's a salute to my friends and their creations, which I'll be proud to put that in my book. I'm not going to have a lot of extra empty pages, um, but I'm thinking if I do have one, I have mentioned this hundred times before. I do want a letters page of some sort, and I will get in touch directly with a number of people I would be excited to freaking have letters from, or just like their words of support or whatever. And if you don't get on my list, don't worry. It's like I know too many people, so don't feel bad. Hopefully the audio is okay. I recorded a little bit and it was kind of low, but hopefully you're getting what I'm saying. Um, yeah. So, oh, okay. This is the main focus of in regards to the topic of retro, and as well as my GoFundMe, which is Palmiotti going digital GoFundMe page, and that's for me to get a tablet. I figure I'll make that sort of a crowdfunding um, page as well. And my idea was, it's like I did want to do a origin of Retro's name story. So it's not key that you um, know exactly the story, but it will give you insight to Retro and where his name comes from. And I mean, I already said a lot in. I attempted to do a the 100 it's 100 days of making comics. Um, oh, um, the ARTCAST is on. Um, or coming up. That's how late it is. Um, yeah, I attempted to do 100 days and videos with that story in mind, and failed because life was complicated. But I figured this is the perfect place to put it in. I am, you know, so I'll be doing a mini comic with the story of Retro's origins name. And yeah, so that would be exclusively to my GoFundMe pledges at $5 or more, which I think everybody currently is, and it will be limited to the amount of people there, other than a couple of copies for me personally. But if I can keep that page up um, permanently, then that would be somewhere that you could always pledge to. If not, then maybe I'll make a Gumroad page or something of the like. One day, eventually, I'll have a website again. I did have one previously, but I'll make a new one and have sort of links to everything. And did that uh, that story is definitely going to be somewhere where people can, essentially buy a copy of it. Or pledge to my ongoing digital experience. And I mean, I'm probably going to need a lot of lessons, and that's going to take uh, me money. So if you want to support that directly, kind of thing, then yeah, that will be forever up somewhere, in some fashion. Um, so okay, I got that all out. That's definitely what I wanted to have covered in this episode. But just to do a little extra actual work. Um, so this will be page one. This is going to be much like my Griffin story, very very rough and tumble, as they say. Um, so let me get some of the elements in line. Okay, so it's um, a young couple. All right, I'm starting to remember. And so it starts out, they're they're both at work. They both work at the same place. Um, and I'm kind of taking inspiration from Chef. If you don't know Chef, that's a John Favreau movie. Um, where hey, John Favreau was the chef, and other things I've seen. Um, but okay, so the first panel, and this is not a perfect representation of that, and you're watching it upside down unless you have a tablet or phone, which you could turn upside down. It's like, I don't know, looking through a counter with shelves or something, as they do have in the kitchen areas sometimes of yeah, certain restaurants or whatever. Um, so I wanna get this is horrible, but okay. So I want to get um, red. So even though she has pretty well, yeah, she's gonna be the waitress, one of the waitresses, because they're both working at the same place. He's the cook, and she's the waitress in this scenario. So this is red, um, and she's maybe has a plate tray with food that she just picked up, and she's gonna go off and deliver it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna angle this. I'm gonna have to look up kitchen reference and whatnot. Gordon Ramsay, help me. Um, and so Frenchie will be back here somewhere, and I'm not even sure. And he's wearing fishnet stocking over his hair because that's what, and maybe a not a real chef hat, but some sort of some sort of hat. Um, yeah, okay. Actually, actually, What's going to help me is I can rewatch these these videos and remember what the hell I was drawing. So they're both in the kitchen, and then I'll have the owner of this restaurant that they're both working for. Um, Maybe I'll call him Bruno. And that's a little name riff on what independent comic I inked years ago. That independent comic, which has nothing to do with anything, but maybe I'll do like an older version of the character, which has nothing to do with anything, but I thought it'd be funny for me behind the scenes working on this. I did a book called Bruiser for a small independent company, and the awesome thing of that was the artist on it, the penciler, um, was Pia Guerrera of Why the Last Man fame, and yeah, so the Bruiser was like just exactly what you think, kind of a superhero, um, bruiser kind of guy, and yeah, so maybe I'll steal a little bit of likeness from that character in my own way. So yeah, so here we have it at whatever restaurant, um, whatever the restaurant's name is. Um, and so this is Frenchie, who's not going to be called Frenchie. Um, I want to say like that's a GI Joe character name, or one of the war groups of what was the Marvel version? Commandos. I forget the full name, but Commandos, I believe. Anyway, he's just French, and he's a fantastic chef, and but he's working for somebody else, and it's like it's not a foo-foo kind of place. It's not a super fancy place, but it's also not McDonald's. So it's somewhere in between. And this guy Bruno, who you would expect to be kind of the owner of a pizzeria or something, is doing something a little above his grade. Um, stay in your lane. He's not staying in his lane. He's trying to be a little fancier than he actually is. Um, so he hired Frenchie because Frenchie's a good chef, and Red's a good waitress, even though she wants to cook too. But we'll get to that. So that will be panel one, establishing those three characters, and yeah. So this is like Bruno entering into the kitchen and going to see Frenchie, and maybe this will be laid out in the final analysis differently, um, but for the sake of just this is me like grabbing an idea from the air and putting it on paper, then I'll mess with it. It's like when you write a novel, you write it all the way out, throw your idea on the pages, and then you go rewrite, and make it better, better, better. Um, and so Bruno, well, let's put Bruno. And I think that's what we'll call him. Um, let's see. I want to sort of do a little bit. He's kind of where's the camera? He's kind of explaining like, hey, um, I'm trying to tell you something. Hey, so I guess he'll be Italian. Uh, I'm ruining my own heritage. Um, he's got the greasy comb back hair. Probably have stubble and probably be a bit of a typical, like the kind of Italian typical goon that you would see in a mafia movie or something. He's got that maybe sort of punched in the nose and broken a couple of times, Punisher nose, um, and squinty beady eyes, maybe some serious eyebrows, like thick eyebrows. We'll see. We'll see. Square chin, that kind of thing. Um, and he's going, "Hey, I got something to tell you, Frenchie." And I guess Frenchie would be, he's got his chef hat on, so you can't really tell at the moment. But Frenchie's, probably a little longer in the face and more clean, clean, organized presence. But Bruno goes, "Hey, uh, I got, and he's like maybe stumbling over his words because he doesn't know many." um, and and there he and here he's a little maybe trying to be sympathetic maybe. He's like, "I'm kind of sorry, but I gotta let you go." Um, and I don't know if I'll make Frenchie shocked or bummed or I don't know. We'll see, but maybe not shocked. But we'll see. We'll kind of see Red in the background, and Red will be shocked, and maybe a close up of Red. Perhaps looking a little pissed. Hey, Pop Pop. It's Pop Pop blocking light. Um, yeah, you can't tell, but that's Red. Trust me. This is just sketching out thumbnail. I wanna, I want like that kind of thing. Like, hey, so wherever her thumb would be, I don't know. Like, hey, you can't do that to Frenchie or whatever his name will be. Um, he's the best damn cook you got, motherfucker. No. uh, he's the best darn cook you got, and you're an idiot for wanting to fire him. Um, and yeah, it's like I don't know the specifics to the conversation or like that's I definitely know like that's how I want to start it and we'll jump ahead at some point. There's more that's going to happen afterwards. Um, but I'll figure out the real details of this scenario. But like Bruno will be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I got no choice. Times are tight and all that. You know, and um, maybe so like Red is um defending Frenchie, saying, Frenchie's the best cook you have. You're lucky to have him. Um, you know, it's like somebody like you or your restaurant don't doesn't really deserve to have him. Um, and maybe Frenchie. Um, I'm gonna think more on their individual personalities or something. Maybe he's not much of a talker, or maybe he's you know just like he loves to cook, but he understands how restaurants work and finances and whatnot. So maybe while his girlfriend is sticking up for him, he realized the breadth of the situation. Um, yes, by the way, his pop up. um, so maybe so like say this is her sort of like gabbing away, and we see her in close in foreground, and then this is Frenchie, maybe talking a lot or talking not much, but sort of like, I understand, Bruno. I was lucky to have this gig. Um, and yeah, just Bruno going, "Hey, I'm sorry. Running a restaurant is hard, and you know, yada yada, business, yada yada. Um, Loved having you here. You are an amazing cook," or something of the sort. Um, so that's will capture page one. It's going to be a six-page story. Right, pop up. He's helping me. Um, so essentially, what's going to happen next? I won't do. That will be like page one, but page two will be read, basically exclaiming, "Well, if you fire Frenchie, I'm going to quit." So, oh, don't fall. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Um, Let me take that away from. Is that in your way, buddy? Um, Pop Pop was getting comfortable. Unfortunately, his butt was getting pretty close to the edge of the desk, and I was worried he was going to fall off. Sorry. Um, so yeah, Red goes, well, if you're firing Frenchie, I'm going to quit. And then, maybe it would be like Bruno going, well, dot, dot, dot. And then uh, Red and Frenchie outside, walking away from the restaurant. Um, and then more stuff after that. But uh, if you can get a sense of it, I want this story to be fun, but it might actually, hopefully, uh, I could pull off it being actually hysterical at points. Um, and part of that is, you know, if you follow any comedian, it's timing. Um, so it's like this is blatantly like what's expected to me. Um, but I just have to hit the beats right for it to pull off for me to pull off it being actually funny. Um, but we'll see. Maybe it'll just be like a story happening, and maybe we'll get a chuckle or from a couple of people. But I was thinking of the idea for this, and you know a number of things that happen that follow this, um, and I was chuckling to myself like that. Oh, I could just totally visualize that scene, and it will be hilarious. So we'll see. We'll see if I can pull it off, or it will be just a straight story, or um, if you're watching this right side up, then I'll do a little of that so you can see it better. Um, but yeah, so it's a lot longer the video than I expected, but I'm glad I got out a lot of what I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad I actually got some work done on Arena. I hope you you know are enjoying listening to me and following me on my you know projects and yeah, everything I'm going through and watching all my videos. So please like, comment below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Yeah, I want to hear from you. Um, if you think you'll enjoy sort of the idea of Arena going forward, beyond issue one, with three stories and new and old creators, sort of like a testing ground for Has Comics, um, as well as the backup story itself. It's like, I felt like I would be cheating fans and myself just to have a 20-page story and maybe a few pages in the back, and like, a 24-page comic. I really want to do 32-page comics where it's uh, you know I think a 22-page story, or I don't know. I love I love the format of a 21 page comic, but I want to do a little better. And I haven't totally figured that whole scenario out. But I do know, like in the case of retro, um, the story is going to be exactly or just about 28 pages. And I want first issues to be a little more story. But the actual, as I get the books out and then go to an actual quarterly schedule and then maybe even a bi-monthly schedule if things get phenomenally great. Um, I do want to focus on like either a 21, maybe a 23 page story. I'm not sure if that page count is correct in, I want the last page to be dramatic and, by itself, and then the very next page would be the letters page. Because I'm a true believer as far as letters pages go. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Please check out any of my other videos. If you aren't already, you could become a patron. Pledge to my GoFundMe, and pretty soon, pledge and share my retro Kickstarter. I am so nervous and so thrilled and so many feelings, and yeah, I'm gonna be emotional roller coaster this coming week ahead. And thank God I decided to do a short one, um, super super short Kickstarter run for my first time. Like I explained before, it's just I can't afford to be away from getting actual work done during the day because I know a lot of my time is going to be taken away from not working. Um, but thankfully, I'm working for a lot of great people who are patient. I swear to God, it's been crazy. I've been busy as heck, and I'm still talking. Okay, bye. Love you all. See you again next time.